Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Welcome to Sri Sri Radha Govinda Temple today. So let's begin the program with Jai Radha Madhav Nikunjbihari. This bhajan used to be very much favorite to Srila Prabhupada. So before we speak anything, before we read anything from any scripture, we have to sing this particular bhajan, and that's our custom. Jai Radha Madhav Kunj Bihari, Jai Radha Madhav Kunj Bihari, Gopi Janvallabha Girivardhari, Gopi Janvallabha Girivardhari, Jashodanandan Vraj Janranjan, Jashodanandan Vraj Janranjan, Jamuna Tira Vanchari, Jamuna Tira Vanchari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunj Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. Namo Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacarya Stotra Sata Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki jai. Namacharya Haridas Thakur ki jai. प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवासति गौर भक्त वृंद की जय. अंतर्द्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, समावेद भक्त वृंद की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे, all glorious to assembled devotees, all glorious to assembled devotees, all glorious to assembled devotees, all glorious to Guru and Gauranga. So let's get some blessings from Guru Parampara. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gnana-jana-shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhistham Sthapitam yena bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utpadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavansha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saganargunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsham. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandho Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vansha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Bhutare Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj ki. Namaste Sarasdevam Gauravani Pachani Sheshunyavadi Paschata Adeshtarani. We are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, text number 41. Prapya punyakrutam lokam ushitva shashvati samaha shuchinam shrimatam gehe yoga brasto vijayate. Translation by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. The unsuccessful yogi, after many years of enjoyment on the planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people or into a family of a rich aristocracy. Purport by His Divine Grace. The unsuccessful yogis are divided into two classes. One is fallen after very little progress, and one is fallen after long practice of yoga. The yogi who falls after a short period of practice goes to higher planets where pious living entities are allowed to enter. After prolonged life there, one is sent back again to the planet to take birth in the family of righteous Brahmana, Vaishnava, or aristocratic merchant. The real purpose of yoga practice is to achieve the highest perfection of Krishna consciousness, as explained in the last verse of this chapter. But those who do not persevere to such an extent and who fail because of material allurement are allowed by grace of the Lord to make full utilization of the material propensities. And after that, they are given opportunities to live prosperous lives in righteous or aristocratic families. Those who are born in such family may take advantage of facilities and try to elevate themselves to full Krishna consciousness. So, today I select this particular verse because our sponsor, which is Deshpande family, and ever since they had this temple in Bombay, this particular family always used to go there in association with devotees. People still remember them. After that, they came to New York, and this Deshpande family started associating with our New York temple. So, in their family there are many people. It's one family, but brothers, sisters, uncle, aunts, and their children, everyone, they are attached so much to one another that you always see them together. Whenever people come, they all come together, and that's the beauty of that particular family. and they are committed to Shri Radha Govinda. So, Ninaben Deshpande and Hemantbhai Deshpande, they are like our parents. And their son, Shyam, he is having a birthday today. So that's why they are sponsoring this Bhagavad Gita reading. And like mentioned before, the verse itself says that after many, many years of enjoyment on planets of the pious living entities, is born into a family of righteous people. So Shyam was born to Ninaben and Hemantbhai. They also have their parents living with them. They have a sister, Radhika. They have maternal uncles and aunts and their children. And they are all Krishna consciousness. So, the next part of the verse says that, or he takes his birth in a family of transcendentalists who are surely great in wisdom. Certainly, such a birth is rare in this world. Birth in a family of yogis or transcendentalists, those with great wisdom, is praised herein because the child born in such a family receives a spiritual impetus from the very beginning of his life. It is especially the case in acharyas or Goswami families. Such families are very learned and devoted to tradition and training and thus become spiritual masters. In India, there are many sub-acharya families, but they have now degenerated due to insufficient education and training. By the grace of the Lord, there are still families that foster transcendentalists generation after generation. It is certainly very fortunate to take birth in such families. Fortunately, both our spiritual master, Om Vishnupad, Srimad Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj, and our humble self had the opportunity to take birth in such families. By the grace of the Lord, both of us were trained in the devotional service of the Lord from the very beginning of our lives. Later on, we met by the order of the transcendental system. So here you can see Shyam, Radhika, Ninaben and Hemantbhai. Prabhupada himself gives his own example that I was born in kind of family where I got all my training and this is where I am. So in 1965 he came to United States and he inaugurated this particular Radha Govinda temple, and for so many years, more than 50 years, we have been here practicing Krishna consciousness, and we are all taking advantage of that. So far as Shyam is concerned, he is also very fortunate to take a birth in this kind of family who are practicing the worship of Lord Shri Krishna from the beginning. So, today we have dressed up Shri Radha Govinda, you can see very beautifully. Pretty soon we will be offering them a bhoga. We have prepared a special dish because today is Shyam's birthday. So Krishna is going to be feasting, and that will be offered by the people who sponsor the particular reading. After that, we will be also offering an arti, where we will be offering different kind of paraphernalias like incense, ghee lamp, water, hanky, flowers, chamar, peacock fan, and all that. So, those who are home watching us, if they can afford to offer something to Shri Shri Radha Govinda, because Shri Shri Radha Govinda is here, but also they are in your cell phone. Also they are on your laptop. And we don't know how you're watching, but sometimes on a TV also there is a projection. But the point is that when you see Radha Govinda, you should be offering something to them. And if there is nothing, it's okay, because Manasi Puja, that was in your mind, you should be offering something like Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam. And especially if you are the instruments home and you're fond of music, or if you know Aarti, Gaura Aarti, then at that time you can always offer the incense and ghee lamp, etc., etc. But it's all up to you. So I was looking at Radha Govinda temple, and this is the best possible view one can have. So we always chant a particular bhajan when we see Shri Shri Radha Govinda so sweetly appear before us. And it's a very, very famous, especially Deshpande family and all those people, those who come from Gujarat or Maharashtra or India. This particular bhajan is very familiar, which describes how sweet Krishna is, how sweet his name is, how sweet his pastimes are, how sweet his qualities are, and entourage. So it's all sweet, and that's why our scripture says that Madhuram Madhurebhyopi Mangalebhyopi Mangalam Pavanam Pavanebhyopi Hare Nameva Kevalam Abrahmastamba Paryantam Sarvam Mayamayam Jagat Satyam Satyam Punah Satyam Hare Nameva Kevalam. The holy name of Sri Hari is alone the sweetest of all sweet things. It is the most auspicious of all auspicious things, and is the greatest purifier of all purifying things. The entire material creation from Brahma down to the clump of grass is a product of the illusionary energy of the Supreme. Sri Harinam is alone reality. And the way it is described, the sweetness of Lord Sri Krishna goes like this. Adharam madhuram vadanam madhuram nayanam madhuram hasitam madhuram. Adharam madhuram vadanam madhuram nayanam madhuram hasitam madhuram. Hridayam madhuram gamanam madhuram madhuradipate rakhilam madhuram. Adharam madhuram vadanam madhuram nayanam madhuram hasitam madhuram. We can witness and look at Radha Govinda and we can say his lips are so sweet. Adharam madhuram, vadanam madhuram. Look at his face is very, very sweet. Nayanam madhuram, his eyes are very sweet. Hasitam madhuram, the smile is very sweet. Hridayam madhuram, his heart is very sweet. Gamanam madhuram, The way he walks is just simply very sweet. Madhuradipate rakhilam madhuram. Everything that is connected to him, his names, his qualities, his pastimes, and all the paraphernalias that you can think of, and all the costumes that he is wearing, the shangar, more peacock feather and all that. So it's all sweet. Vachanam madhuram charitam madhuram vasanam madhuram valitam madhuram chalitam madhuram brahmitam madhuram madhuradhipate rakhilam madhuram. His words are sweet. We were just reading Bhagavad Gita as it is, and we were reading the words as it is from Bhagavad Gita. His words are sweet, his character is sweet, his dress is sweet, his ornaments are sweet, his steps are sweet. Wherever he goes, his journey is sweet, his coming is sweet, and his going is sweet. Venu madhura renu madhura pani madhura padwa madhura Venu madhura renu madhura pani madhura padwa madhura Nrutyam madhuram Sakhyam madhuram madhuradhipate rakhilam madhuram madhuradhipate rakhilam madhuram. Beautiful flute that he is holding, that flute is very sweet. And the music that comes out of the flute is wonderful. There is dust on his face because he was pasturing the cows at the bank of Yamuna. So that even that dust on his face is so sweet. Pani Madhura, his hands are very sweet. Pado, the legs are sweet. Nrutyam Madhuram, his dance is very sweet. And Sakhyam Madhuram, all his friends, cowherd boys and girls, they are all sweet. Gitam madhuram pitam madhuram bhuktam madhuram suktam madhuram Gitam madhuram pitam madhuram bhuktam madhuram suktam madhuram Rupam madhuram tilakam madhuram madhuradhipate rakhilam madhuram Rupam madhuram tilakam madhuram madhuradhipate rakhilam madhuram. The songs that he is singing and yellow garments that he is wearing, his pitambar, and whatever he is enjoying, and whatever pastimes while sleeping is actually presenting, it's all sweet. Rupam madhuram. He is special, very beautiful, like a Cupid. He even actress the Cupids. So his beauty is very sweet. And tilakam madhur, then he is wearing a Vaishnava tilak, that is also very sweet. So this way, all his personality is simply wonderful. Karanam madhuram, taranam madhuram, haranam madhuram, smaranam madhuram, करण मधुरं तरण मधुरं हरण मधुरं स्मरण मधुरं वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरं वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं चुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं. So we saw his beauty, his activities are unbelievable. He steals sometimes butter and other milk products, but that's also pastime is very sweet. Thinking about him is very sweet, and all his excitement is very much sweet. वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं गुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीची मधुरा गुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीची मधुरा सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरं मधुराधिपतेरखिलं मधुरं. So you can see the beautiful garlands that he is wearing. Mala Madhura and Gunja Madhura. You have to have a special right in order to wear the Gunja Mala. And that's why Radha and Krishna, they are wearing that. Yamuna Madhura. He is walking on the bank of river Yamuna. And that's why, although it's a very black color, dark color river, it looks so beautiful and sweet. And also, the Kunj Gali of Vrindavan, wherever he is walking those streets, those very narrow streets of Vrindavan, they also are full of sweetness because of Krishna. Salilam Madhuram, the water in this Radha Kundu and different reservoirs or the Yamuna itself is so sweet. And the Kamalam Madhuram means the lotus flowers that they grow. They remind us of Lord Vishnu as soon as you swim. So when you see that those colors, dark color flowers blooming in the water, then you start singing glories of Lord Sri Vishnu. Shantakaram Bhujagshayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmi Kantam Kamalanayanam Yogi Virdhanagamyam Vande Vishnu Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaikanathan. So we continue the bhajan again. Gopi Madhura Leela Madhura Yukam Madhuram Bhukam Madhuram Gopi Madhura Leela Madhura Yukam Madhuram Bhukam Madhuram Drashtam Madhuram Shishtam Madhuram Madhuradhipate Rakhilam Madhuram maduram drashtam maduram shishtam maduram maduradipate rakhilam maduram. So, as you see that all the childhood pastimes that he acted as a Damodar when he had a rope around his waist and Jashoda is punishing him because he is breaking the pots full of milk and yogurt and all that. So he was mischievous and he wanted to steal the butter because he likes the butter. So this kind of simple innocent pastimes, they are also very sweet. And the assemblies, either it could be assembly among the Pandavas as a king, or it could be assembly among the cowherd and cowboys just to enjoy and eat lunch in Vrindavan. They are all sweet. And he looks, the way he looks, they are very sweet. And his grace is even sweeter than that. So, that's why I say in scripture, Sa Guru Sa Pita Chapi Samata Bandayopi Saha Kshishyaye Cheta Sada Smartyam Harer Nameva Kevalam. If someone teaches us to remember the holy name of Lord alone, then that person is our preceptor, father, mother, and friend. Because in this world, only the father, mother, and a friend, they are your well-wishers. And that is why it says, it doesn't matter who is, but if someone teaches us to remember the holy name of the Lord, then that person is as good as our father, as good as our mother, and as good as our friend. And that is why we have the Srila Prabhupada right in front of us, and we always worship him because he acted as our real father, real mother, and real friend. Nishvasa nahi vishvasa Kadarutto bhavishyati Kirtaniyamato balyat Hare Namev Kevalam. There is no certainty in when our last breath will come. Therefore, the name of Hari must be exclusively chanted from one's very childhood. It's not certain. We had last week one person who was working as a security guard here and he used to help. Then he had an accident and he stopped coming and he stayed home. And then we had this pandemic, so he was very cautious about it. Then suddenly, when no one saw him or spotted him, people started calling him and no one will answer. So he used to live in this Coney Island area. And one of the Russian friends, he actually went to the super and he said, I'm very curious about my friend. So please open the door. Nobody answered. They could not open the door. They broke the door finally. And they saw Joe was sleeping. And he was black in color. This guy is a white guy, American. But because he died, no one knows when he died, what time he died, how many days he's dead. No one knew. And they saw him, just a body. And it's very sad. So the thing is, there is no certainty in when our last breath will come. From one's very childhood, therefore, the name of Hari must be exclusively chanted. And that is why Bhakta Prahlad Maharaj he always instructed in Bhagavatam, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu, Smaranam Pad Sevanam. So, Prahlad Maharaj is always saying that Shravan, Kirtan, Smarana, Bandhan, Pad, Sevana, Dasya, Pujana, Sakhijan, Atmanivedan. These are the 9 ways that you must be pleasing Shri Radha Govinda. Shravan, Kirtan, Smarana, Bandhan, Pad, Sevan, Dasya Re, Pujan Sakhijan, Atmanivedan. Shravana is listening. Whatever I am reading here, we are supposed to listen, including myself. Kirtan, that what we are singing, we also use the musical instruments, we have the harmonium, the mridanga, etc., etc. And we sing. That is a kirtan. Smarana, when you think of Krishna, that is smarana. Vandan, when you bow down at the lotus feet of the Lord, that is vandan. Pad sevan, yes, any kind of service that you can offer in his lotus feet, that is pad sevan. Dasya, he is the master and we are the servant. When you have that kind of mentality, that is a dasya. Pujana, yes, we can do every day and we should do by offering the asan, avahan, padya, argya, achmaniya, snana, vastra, upavita, gandha, pushpa, dhupa, deepa, naivedya, tambura, dakshina, pradakshina. When we offer all these paraphernalias, then that is a pujan. Right now also, they are offering on the altar the bhoga, and we do this thing for 6 times a day. Following that particular activity, we will be also offering the arti, and that also we do 6 times a day from the altar. So that is pujana. Sakhijana. Sakhijana means Arjuna always consider Krishna as his friend. So it doesn't have that you should consider him father all the time, or son all the time, or brother all the time, or master all the time. You can consider him as a friend and still love Krishna. Then it says, Hari sadavase tatra yatra bhagavata jana gayanti bhakti bhavena Hare Nameva Kevalam. Sri Hari eternally dwells in that place where great souls chant their holy name alone with great devotion. So this is very interesting. Sri Hari eternally dwells in that place where great souls chant his holy name. That means wherever there is a what you call bhajan, kirtan going on, when somebody is playing some mridanga, kartal or harmonium or any kind of instrument, singing and dancing, kirtan is going on, that's where Lord is. Narad Muni was asked, or Narad Muni actually is asking Lord Krishna himself, that give me your address, I would like to visit you. So Krishna smiles and he says that Mad Bhakta Yatra Gayanti Tatra Tisthami Narada. Oh Narad, my address is anywhere anybody is singing some kind of bhajan, that is where I live, that's where I spend my time. That's my hideout. Go to any temple or any devotee's place where kirtan is going on. So he says, I don't have a fixed residence that I live in Gokula, I live in Mathura, I live in Vrindavan, I live in the Goloka. No, I don't have any fixed address. He says, I live wherever my devotees are chanting my name. So today I believe that you are going to play the mridanga today?
I don't know how to play.
You played last time.
Yeah.
So, all right. But we will have the arti. At the arti time you can play. And you can also try. And yeah, we have all kind of instruments here, right? So, that's one thing. And then it says, Aho dukham mahadukham dukha dukha tanam yata kachayam vismrutam ratna harer nameva kevalam. Very wonderful. It says, alas, what a sadness, what a great sorrow. It is more painful than any misery that this jewel of Harinam has been mistaken as a piece of glass and has thus been forgotten by general mass of people. Can you believe there is a diamond and there is a piece of glass which is more valuable? So the Harinam, Krishna's name, is so precious that is worthless. But the thing is that people don't understand and they run after a piece of glass which has no value whatsoever. So that is why the person who composed this particular prayer, he says, alas, what a sadness, what a great sorrow. It is more painful than any misery that this jewel of the Harinam has been mistaken as a piece of glass and has thus been forgotten by the general mass of people. And then he says, Diyatam diyatam karno niyatam niyatam bacha giyatam giyatam nityam harer nameva kevalam. Here again and again, utter over and over, eternally sing and sing again the name of Hari alone. Wonderful advice that they are going to take. And now he says, Gopa Madhura Gavo Madhura Yasti Madhura Srusti Madhura Gopa Madhura Gavo Madhura Yasti Madhura Srusti Madhura Dalitam Madhuram Phalitam Madhuram Madhuradipate Rakhilam Madhuram Dalitam Madhuram Phalitam Madhuram Madhuradipate Rakhilam Madhuram. So, all the cows are so sweet. Gopa, Gao. Gao is cows. And Gopa is milkmaids. And his whole creation, the entire cosmic manifestation is so sweet, he says. And his giving is wonderful. And whatever fruits that returns you get out of worshipping his lotus feet, that is also very sweet. Normally it is divided into 4 parts: Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha. Our own duty we have to perform, and everybody can do that very eloquently. That is God's mercy. Artha is, of course, Lakshmi, the money. Everybody gets his according to his desire and according to the labor that he is putting into. Mother Lakshmi is none other who is a goddess of fortune, and she's standing right next to Krishna. Everything is coming from Radharani. This is nothing but Naranarayan or Lakshmi Narayan deities, where Lakshmi is in the place of Radharani and Narayan is Krishna himself. So, this is a worship of Lakshmi Narayana, where Lakshmi, mother of goddess, is always with Krishna. Lakshmi Kshir Samudra Rajatanayam Shri Rangadhameshwari Dasi Bhoot Samastadev Vanitam Lokai Dipangam Kuram Shriman Manda Kataksha Labda Vibha Brahmendra Gangadharam Tvam Trailoka Kutumbin Sarasiyam Vande Mukundam Priyam. Mukundam Priyam means Krishna loves Lakshmi, and that's why if I ask you, you want $10, you say yes. You 10 million, you say yes. Right? 10 billion, you say yes. Why? Lakshmi. Just because Krishna is loving Lakshmi ji, we all love Lakshmi ji. That's what it says here. Adharam Maduram Vadanam Madhur. You want to play? Try. Yeah. This lady is very valuable. Then you come to the camera next time and people want to see you. Prabhu, you should also play something. Yeah. Bring the guitar. I know you are a guitar player. Are you?
No.
Okay. So whatever instrument you have, you try to join this particular bhajan. Truna krutya jagat sarvam rajate sakalaparam Chidanandamayam Shuddham Hare Nameva Kevalam. Mridanga is something like this. Yeah. I have this. I can play that. So here it says, it is the Harinam alone which is full of ecstasy and divine knowledge. It is supreme pure and reigns supreme over all, making the entire universe hymn as significant as a blade of glass. Right? So, once again, it is the Harinam alone which is full of ecstasy and divine knowledge. It is supreme pure and reigns supreme over all, making the entire universe hymn as insignificant as a blade of grass. What is a blade of grass? You know that it is not very significant, right? Blade of grass. It makes everything look very insignificant. So, thanks for coming, Mataji. You are a competitor now. You can play the karta, no problem. So, this was a very interesting bhajan that we were singing. Now, very shortly we are going to have the aarti also, and please don't go away, you may have some prasadam also. So let's repeat this particular song that Krishna, how Krishna is. Some people just came today very late, so they will have some sweetness of Radha Govinda also. So the bhajan goes like this. Adharam Maduram Vadanam Maduram Nayanam Maduram Hasitam Maduram Adharam Maduram Vadanam Maduram Nayanam Maduram Hasitam Maduram हृदयं मधुरं गमनं मधुरं मधुराधिपते रखिलं मधुरं हृदयं मधुरं गमनं मधुरं मधुराधिपते रखिलं मधुरं वचन मधुरं चरितं मधुरं वसनं मधुरं वलितं मधुरं वचनं मधुरं चरितं मधुरं वसनं मधुरं वलितं मधुरं चलितं मधुरं भ्रमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपते रखिलं मधुरं चलितं मधुरं भ्रमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपते रखिलं मधुरं वेणुर्मधुरा रेणुर्मधुरा पाणी मधुरा पादो मधुरं वेणुर्मधुरा रेणुर्मधुरा पाणिर्मधुरा पादो मधुरं नृत्यं मधुरं सख्यं मधुरं मधुराधिपते रखिलं मधुरं नृत्यं मधुरं सख्यं मधुरं मधुराधिपते रखिलं मधुरं गीतं मधुरं पीतं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरं सुखं मधुरं गीतं मधुरं पीतं मधुरं भुक्तं मधुरं सुखं मधुरं रूपं मधुरं तिलकं मधुरं रूपं मधुरं तिलकं मधुरं मधुराधिपते रखिलं मधुरं करणं मधुरं चरणं मधुरं हरणं मधुरं स्मरणं मधुरं करणं मधुरं चरणं मधुरं हरणं मधुरं स्मरणं मधुरं वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपते रखिलं मधुरं वमितं मधुरं शमितं मधुरं मधुराधिपते रखिलं मधुरं गुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीथी मधुरा गुञ्जा मधुरा माला मधुरा यमुना मधुरा वीथी मधुरा सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरं सलिलं मधुरं कमलं मधुरं मधुराधिपते रखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपते रखिलं मधुरं गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरा युक्तं मधुरं भूकं मधुरं गोपी मधुरा लीला मधुरा युक्तं मधुरं भूकं मधुरं द्रष्टं मधुरं शिष्टं मधुरं द्रष्टं मधुरं शिष्टं मधुरं मधुराधिपत्यरखिलं मधुरम् गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरा यस्तिर्मधुरा सृष्टिर्मधुरा गोपा मधुरा गावो मधुरा यस्तिर्मधुरा सृष्टिर्मधुरा दलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरं दलितं मधुरं फलितं मधुरं मधुराधिपत्यरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपत्यरखिलं मधुरं मधुराधिपत्यरखिलं मधुरम् मधुरम मधुरेभ्योपि मंगलेभ्यो भी मंगलम पावनम पावनेभ्यो हरेर नाम एव केवलम. The holy name of Lord Sri Radha Govinda is alone the sweetest of all sweet things. It is the most auspicious of all auspicious things, and is the greatest purifier of all purifying things. So this is very important message. During pandemic, everybody wants to be nice and clean and sanitizer and all that. We know people keep soap, and you can go out without the mask, and you have to be careful about contamination. But Srila Prabhupada writes that only person who can take all the contamination away, all the disease away, is Lord Sri Krishna. And that's why please come to this temple and join us in chanting, dancing, and honoring prasadam. The final injunction, he says, Saradharman parityajya mamekam sharam braja aham tvam sarvapapebhyo mokshishyami mashucho. Abandon all variety of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So all this pandemic and its reactions and whatever you are going through is nothing but our past karmas. And that's why we are paying for that. And that's why it's very, very important that we surrender to Krishna and try to eradicate all those sinful activities by surrendering to Sri Radha Govinda, by actually worshipping him, paying him obeisances, thinking about him, never forgetting him, and be a servant of him. So next we will be having Gaur Arti. This particular Arti is in Bengali, but it's very beautifully written down with a great meaning. And it says, all glories to the beautiful Arti ceremony of Lord Chaitanya. This Gaur Arti is taking place in groves on the banks of Janvi, Ganges, and attracting the minds of living entities in the whole universe. Oh, Lord Chaitanya's right side is Lord Nityananda, and on his left is Sri Gadadhar. Nearby stands Advaita and Srivas Thakur as holding an umbrella over Lord Chaitanya's head. So there is a little picture. If you come closer, you will see on the extreme left corner, that's where you see the 5 personalities. And those are Chaitanya, Nityananda, Advaita, Gadadhar, and Srivas. Lord Chaitanya has sat down on the jewel throne, and the demigods headed by Lord Brahma perform the Arti ceremony. Narhari Sarkar and other associates of Lord Chaitanya fan him with chamar, and devotees headed by Sanjay Pandit, Mukunda Datta, and Vasu Ghosh sing sweet kirtan. Conch shells, bells, and kartals resound, and the mrudangas play very sweetly. This kirtan music is supremely sweet and relishable to hear. The brilliance of Lord Chaitanya's face conquers millions upon millions of moons, and the garland of forest flowers around his neck shines. Lord Shiva, Shukadev Goswami, and Narada Muni are all there, and their voices are choked with the ecstasy of transcendent love. Thus Thakur Bhaktivinoda envision the glory of Lord Sri Chaitanya. So we have to envision also, while we are offering the arti, that all these personalities are there on the altar, and they are all with us singing the arti and presenting the arti. So now, as those who are home watching, those who are here also, you can also watch and look at the pujaris, how they blow the conch shell, and what next paraphernalia they are offering. Thank you. Ready? Ki bajayo jay Gaura Chande Arti ko shobhan. Ki bajayo jay Gaura Chande Arti ko shobhan. Janvi Tatvan Jagman Loban. Janvi Tatvan Jagman Loban. Dakshina Nikai Chand Bam Gadadhar. Dakshina Nikai Chand Bam Gadadhar. Nikate Advait Shrini Vasa Chhatra Dara. Nikate Advait Shrini Vasa Chhatra Dara. बसी আছে গৌরাচন রত্ন সিংহাসন বসি আছে গৌরাচন রত্ন সিংহাসন आरती करेन ब्रह्मा आदिदेव गणे आरती करेन ब्रह्मा आदिदेव गणे नरहरि आदि कोरी चामर झुलाय नरहरि आदि कोरी चामर झुलाय संजय मुकुंद बासु घोष आदि गाय संजय मुकुंद बासु घोष आदि गाय शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताल शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे बाजे करताल मधुर मृदंगा बाजे परम रसाला मधुर मृदंगा बाजे परम रसाला शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंख बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे माधुर 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 बाजे शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे शंखा बाजे घंटा बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे मधुर 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 बाजे हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल बहु कोटि चंद्र जिनी बदन उज्ज्वल बहु कोटि चंद्र जिनी बदन उज्ज्वल गाल देशवन माला और जल माला गाल देशवन माला पूरे जल माला शिवा शुकनारदा हम गदागदा शिवा शुकनारदा हम गदागदा शिवा शुक नारदा हम गदागदा भक्ति विनोद देख गुरार संपादा भक्ति विनोद देख गुरार संपादा की बजाए जय गौरा चंदे आरती के शोभा जानवी तटवन जगमन लोबा Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Nama, Krishna Yadavaya Namah. Hare Nama, Krishna Yadavaya Namah. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshivaya Namah. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshivaya Namah. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana. Hare Nama, Krishna Yadavaya Namah. Hare Nama, Krishna Yadavaya Namah. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshivaya Namah. Yadavaya Madhavaya Keshivaya Namah. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana. Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudana. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana. Giridhari Gopinath Madana Mohana. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita. Shri Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Sita. Hari Guru Vaishnava Bhagavata Gita. हरि गुरु वैष्णव भगवत गीता। श्री रूप श्री सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ। श्री रूप श्री सनातन भट्ट रघुनाथ। श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ। श्री जीव गोपाल भट्ट दास रघुनाथ। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा गोविंद राधा गोविंद राधे। 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 जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय। जय गौरानिताय 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 जय गौरानिताय। जय गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन। जय गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन गिरि गोवर्धन जय गिरि गोवर्धन। जय तुलसी महारानी तुलसी महारानी तुलसी महारानी जय तुलसी महारानी। प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। नमो मिष्टवाद परमहंस परिव्रजाचार्य स्तोत्र सदा भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्री प्रभुपाद की। भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज की, अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधार शिवसिद्धि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। अंतर विवाहपुर धाम की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, समावेद भक्तवृंद की जय। गौर प्रेमानंदे all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Guru and Gauranga. So now we are going to chant Narasingha prayer. Namaste Narasimhaya. Namaste Narasimhaya. Prahlad Rajdhanina. Hiranyakashi Purvakshaha. Shilatankanakharaya. Ijo nasiho parito nasiho. Yata yata mitato nasiho. Bahir nasiho hridaya nasiho. Narasimham gadim sharanam prapadye. Tava kar kamal vare nakham adbhuta shringam. Dalita hiranyakashipu Tanu bringa Keshavadruta Narhari Rupa Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare Jai Jagadish Hare. Jaya Nrsingadev, 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 Jaya Nrsingadev. Jaya Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Prahlad Maharaj, Jaya Prahlad Maharaj. नरसिंहदेव भगवान की जय। भक्त प्रहलाद महाराज की जय। श्री राधा गोविंद देव की जय। श्री प्रभुपाद की जय। So thanks for joining Shyam's birthday celebration today in presence of Shri Radha Govinda. Please bless him. Shyam, have sweet 16, was a nice birthday, and I'm sure the devotees are ready to bless you. My obeisances to your father and mother, Ninabai and Hemantbai, and Ba, and all the rest of the families, Radhika, etc. Thanks for joining. Please come back Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. We'll continue to speak again Saturday morning at 8 o'clock. The next week we have the Zulan Yatra and so many Balaram Jayanti and all kind of festivities. So we will not be able to do that. Instead of that, we'll be doing our Sankirtan or Satsang on Monday. So for Loknath Prabhu, he has an anniversary on Monday. So please come 16th of August, Monday at 5 o'clock. We will be celebrating Loknath Prabhu's anniversary. Thanks for joining. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.